Hello, and welcome back to the Cooper Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Noah Fisher and Tommy Lazaridis to talk about West Ham United versus Aston Villa from the weekend. Villa were coming off 2 consecutive wins, going down to the London Stadium, the worst stadium in the whole of Britain. And we'll be talking about all of that and much more after this. All right, so we were at the London Stadium. Villa, West Ham was struggling. They were in the bottom three when the game kicked off, and we haven't had the best record there. Haven't won there, I don't think, at all. I think it was Upton Park the last time we won against West Ham United, and we didn't get a win again, but a decent point, I would say, like not the worst result. And we'll be getting into that. But before we do, please like and subscribe. Follow us on all the socials. Do it right now. Just do it now before I throw it over to Noah. And I'm going to say, Noah, what did you think going into the game? Because, we were sort of high flying. There was, the Boubacar Kamara injury. We had a bit of a reshuffle in the midfield, and it was a game that I think we were looking to win, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham, one of those bogey teams for us at the moment. We cannot seem to beat them ever. And actually, the last time we did beat them was at Villa Park.
Yep.
Which the season before we got relegated. Tom Cleverley actually scored the winner that day. Grealish assisted him. So I think we won 2-1, if I remember correctly. That might be wrong. Don't hold me to that.
Last day of the season? That's the one? Last game
of the season? I think it might have been 3-1.
It was close to the end of the season. I know that much.
Yeah.
With Tim Sherwood in charge. But going into this game, obviously, Boubacar Kamara, massive loss. You kind of see that.
But some good news on that front. Apparently, he's going to be back after the international break, but maybe it's a bit better than expected.
Yeah, well, that's obviously good news because he just runs out of midfield and he's so calm on the ball. I do love John McGinn, and unfortunately had to drop back to that deeper role after playing back to it like his old self, meatball self, the last couple of weeks. But it's West
I thought he'd done all right. I thought McGinn held up, to be honest. And
I thought he did as well, but he's no Kamara. That's what I'm trying to say. It's so hard to replace Kamara.
And you sort of lose a bit of his what makes him good in that position, a little bit.
Yeah.
But sorry, keep going.
The game started off extremely well though, Scott. I don't think we could I was still messaging you about some stuff, and then we just both got Ollie because what a goal it was. What a ball from Alex Moreno, and I thought we're up and away.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great finish, wasn't it, Tommy? And it's great to see Ollie now, 6 from 7, and he's on fire.
Yeah, look, I thought Moreno actually started quite poor. A few silly turnovers, just, lapse in judgment, but I think he definitely made up with that assist. Ollie's just in the right place at the right time now, and timing his runs. I mean, if we go back 6 months, he's probably going to be in an offside position. So whatever he's been doing with that coach one-on-one, I think Emery said I have to actually tell him to stop training now because he's doing all this extra work. And, when he's found his shooting boots all of a sudden and he's scoring left, right, header, testicle, whatever, right? He can shoot with anything right now. So, no, long may it continue. Very impressive start to the game. I did like, we tried to just suck the atmosphere right out of the game in the opening 10, 15 minutes. And I think that worked to perfection. And then, like I said, just a silly penalty to concede. Bailey, everyone's like, what the hell? And, we're reviewing it. I actually thought it got overturned at one point, but then I didn't realize, that was just angles. But just, I just think we let them back in. And then, they probably started to create a lot more chances than us in the second half.
Yeah, that's one thing that sort of hasn't been going our way is we seem to take the lead and sometimes, kind of drop our standards a little bit, or, it was only sort of maybe 8 minutes or something like that between the goals. You really, in that position, in that time of the game, it was just not cool for. I know it's a soft penalty, and, I thought the same as many Villa fans when it was given. I was like, oh, come on, but once you put your arm on someone's shoulder in the box, he's facing the wrong way as well. He's not even facing the goal. It was just a silly moment from Bailey and really cost us in the end.
I mean, for sure. Yeah. He hasn't been in the best form, Leon Bailey, has he? of recent weeks. Obviously, we know he's extremely good at home. Well, he has been better at home. He's scored all his goals at home. But, I mean, as you said, Scott, I think if it was a Villa penalty, I would have said it's a pen. You know, we'll take it every day of the week. But to be fair, Ben Rama, unbelievable penalty. Like, it was an amazing penalty because that gave Emmy no chance at all.
Yeah, and he seems to love playing against us, Ben Rama. He quite often scores and has a good game. And I thought him and Bowen were quite dangerous for them. Like Tommy was talking about Moreno, and Bowen was playing on his side and getting a little bit of joy. I thought it was a pretty good contest because Moreno, had a few moments going forward as well. But it was one of those sort of battles that I guess was probably 50-50 at the end of the game.
I do think Mings was covering Moreno quite well. There was a time, I think, where Bowen burnt him at the line and Mings just came in to get, I think we consider a corner. And Mings, for me, I'm probably going to give 2 votes to. I'm not jumping ahead, but I actually thought, our most impressive player alongside Mings, probably Dougie. He was that anchor in the midfield, and I thought Meatball still done pretty well considering, he was used to playing a bit further up the pitch. But I really think Dougie handled Souček and Rice quite well. Yeah, Moyes made some good subs. I'm seeing a lot of their I think I was looking at the Optus Sport comments, and a lot of West Ham fans calling for Moyes' head all of a sudden, right? And it's quite sad. They've got a very good team on paper, and results don't go your way one season, and how everything turns quick. They'll probably Newcastle's position last year, right?
Exactly, and it's so tight in there that 1 or 2 results, and you can be dragged right down, or if you win, you can go up to sort of 12th, 13th position. It's crazy. I'm so glad that we are out of that sort of pack of teams that, could go down, because anyone from Crystal Palace down that are one place below us really could get relegated this season.
Correct. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting, and I think it's just very refreshing to not have to worry about it for a while. So I think was it Palace the last game? I think that kind of just sealed our fate, and that we're kind of safe and out of it. So anything now is just a blessing. If Emery wants to tweak and refine tactics, cool. I think everyone's just been monitoring like Kamara update. So definitely seems like it's positive news. I actually thought Chambers was going to start. A lot of us were calling for Chambers to start, but I actually thought he was quite poor when he came on in that role. So
he was bad. Yeah.
Goes to Emery not going ahead with him, because I was quite shocked, and I think Dendonka hurt his hand at home, so don't know what he was doing, but fair enough. Dominant hand.
And and talking about tweaking it, we saw a bit of Bertrand Traore, which we haven't seen. I don't know what the last time he played for us. It must have been well over a year, because he's been out on loan. And the last time with a sensible haircut.
He's not as good. He's not as good without the hair.
Look, not racist, but he looks even skinnier. I don't know if it's the dreadlocks that made him look fat, but he looks so skinny, and he was sharp. Like, just that confidence he's just a go, and he's probably going to make a mistake or two. I do think he tried to do a dink at one point. I swear he dribbled past their left back, and he should have just banged it in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it'll probably take him a few weeks to, get up to speed, but with Bailey, not really performing.
Traore over Bailey any day of the week. Duran looked good when he came on. Should have scored that. Kicked it too soft, I think, into the keeper.
Yes, that was a good chance. And there was another good chance before that for Ollie Watkins, Noah. And with the form that he's in, I expected that one to hit the back of the net. Maybe he could have lifted it a little bit. He tried to open up his body, but that was a big chance and showed that, we probably had the better chances.
Yeah, look, it just proves that Ollie Watkins is also human. He missed a good chance against Palace. He missed a good chance there last night. But honestly, I think if he wasn't in this kind of form, that's a miss we would be really criticising him for. Everyone would be jumping on his back, I guess, because he's in so much good form. He's got 9 goals now this season, which you look 6 weeks ago
Ollie,
he had 2 or 3. Yeah, Ollie, you got 9 goals now this season.
Nuts what confidence can do.
Exactly
and
that.
Speaking of Mings, what a maestro Emery is, honestly, and he's unlocked Ollie's what I think could be his full potential, and he's finish well, and then it's a growth year towards and a platform towards next season. But knowing us, we'll probably sign a 60 million striker all of a sudden, so you never know.
I really hope Ollie keeps getting backed in by Emery, because I love Ollie as a striker. I think he's a workhorse. He's an absolute engine. All the things all Villa fans know. But I'll tell you what, I don't agree with you, Scott. I reckon West Ham had some very good opportunities as well.
I think they probably should have run away with it.
Yeah,
Benrahma.
I think, and the Zuma header as well. Like, I think they had the better chances, and I'm actually quite content with a point, because if you go away to most Premier League ground to get a point, you'd be pretty satisfied.
I'm happy with the point.
Like, in games like that, I'm happy with the point. As much as I would like, I want Villa to win every game.
Yeah.
Yep. Any team from Crystal Palace down right now is dangerous to play, especially away. I mean, you look at Bournemouth taking a point against Liverpool.
They took 3 points, mate.
3. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, Liverpool. Yeah, like, who would have thought? I think all of them are starting to pick up some points now.
Yep.
Even Chelsea.
Yeah, well, the Premier League's always tough, especially when you're away from home. And I guess the other sort of moment in the match that was controversial was the potential penalty on Buendia. What did you guys think about that one?
Not a pen. Not a pen for me.
I mean, you look at it, Noah, right? There's enough weight to push him down, and it's almost like for like with theirs. And
nah, but I just don't think it should be a penalty, Tommy.
I do think Rice going up to him, I mean, I get it, right? Theatrics and that, but I do think Rice going up to him, like, that's wrong. And then Rice tries to play off. Oh, I didn't say anything. Like, mate, I didn't realize that when they replayed it, saying,
"Yeah, I didn't know what happened," and then you see all the.
I like Dougie in that kind of getting in his face though after and sort of having Buendia's back. I like that. I don't think he was faking. I think it was, there was contact, but I don't think it was a penalty. But if that's not a penalty, then neither is the Leon Bailey one.
That's what I was going to go to. And I think there was one on our good mate Jack Grealish the other week that was given when there was not a lot of contact on him.
Who?
Exactly that.
Who?
But I think Buendia actually kind of falls over himself, if that makes sense.
That's why I think he's actually hurt himself just tweaking his own leg.
I don't think Declan Rice actually made enough contact to send him down. I think that Buendia has actually fallen over himself because he's a very tricky player. Yes, I know Rice probably blocks his space. For example, in the NBA, if you close on a player too much, it can be a foul. But in soccer, it's not the way it is. I think that's...
he certainly put himself between Rice and the ball. Yeah. And, I mean, it was...
one way, you got to give it the other, right? Like, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of contact on theirs, and it seems like that review was completed a lot faster than ours, right?
They checked it for a while.
Yeah, I think these ones, once they're given, they're very rarely overturned. So
some Villa fan has lost a multi because Villa didn't win. All right, Noah. So
what do you say?
Look, I think VAR has been kind to us this year, as opposed to other years. So I guess having one game where it doesn't quite go our way and we get the rough end of the stick is fine. It's still a good result. So.
Wouldn't be in the Premier if it wasn't for VAR. Thanks, Sheffield.
That's right. The goal line technology.
The thing is, that wasn't VAR. It's goal line technology.
Oh, mate, it's a computer. All right, piss off. No,
one thing I'm surprised you haven't touched on is one particular player that made the substitutes for us. Diego Carlos back in the match day.
Carlos, yes, it was probably the most common thing. I think it was like 10 minutes I saw after the match, the starting lineup was posted on Facebook and Insta. Everyone's just like, Carlos is in. King Carlos returns.
Like, I'm so happy because he played 1.5 games for us.
Yep.
And we saw more of him in Australia than most people in England saw of him this season, which is crazy. Because he was so good.
When he went head to head with Bamford, I can't wait to. Are we playing Leeds against him?
No, we played him twice this season, I think. Have we?
I'm sure he could stand in the away fans.
I think we played him twice.
Did we?
Well, we played him away. You were at that game.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Yeah, bring up live score, mate.
Not live score, mate. It's all about EPL Live.
Possibly, but it is Bournemouth next week at home, and that is the last game going into the international break. So I think, picking up a point here, if we can win against Bournemouth, that's going to be a huge sort of little mini run that we've been on. That'll be 4 games unbeaten, 3 wins out of 4.
Yeah, caps it off. Players go away somewhat, fully confident, whatever. Martinez could go and do his theatrics with Argentina again.
Yeah, it gives, maybe if we can give Carlos 30 minutes in that game or something off the bench, and then
bigger.
Yeah, and then he can.
Yes, we played Leeds twice over in Shotting. We won 2-1.
I reckon if we're 1-0, 2-0 up at like maybe even 70, 80, I reckon Carlos will come on just to shut up shop. Emery's not afraid to change it. Like I said, I love that he can adjust in game, and we've never had that. And it's probably one of his most important feats. You obviously hear the whole, commentary like, oh, Emery gets involved, and you just see him so involved and just tempo and just reset. And I love his involvement in the team. Like everyone's bought into the vision, and like he's got players that were out of form, and McGinn, Exhibit A, right? Like all of a sudden he's back in form, and then drops back into that position that he's never really been good at. And I thought he actually held his own. I thought him and Dougie were actually quite good with distribution. Obviously, when it comes body to body with Socek and Rice, it was never an easy battle. But Dougie, for me, was man of the match by far. He really stood out. I think Dougie, Mings, and
McGinn.
McGinn, yeah, I'd probably give McGinn. I was going to give Traore one, to be honest. I thought he was an absolute bloody menace when he came on.
I thought Ashley Young played a vital role when he came on as well. And by the way, it was his 200th Aston Villa appearance.
I did see that.
Quite an achievement. And I think it was like you were talking about with Emery sort of tweaking things in game. I think it was more of a 4-3-3 than we're used to. Like Ollie was sort of coming off the left a bit, and Buendia was going to that sort of false 9 centre forward position quite a bit. And of course, Bailey off the right-hand side. So, it's good to see that he can sort of, have different systems for different opponents and just, try different things, especially in this period of the season where, we're safe and, where we've got this run of games now towards the end of the season where we can maybe try a few more things. But the next thing I was going to talk about was some of our guys on loan who had a good weekend. There was goals for, there was exactly. There was goals for Archer. There was Ramsey again. Tim Romabang. Yeah, he was on the score sheet.
Say that again.
Romabang.
Romabang.
Yes,
it's Agabunum, isn't it?
Oh well. Whatever. I'm just going to go on Tim. All right. So Tim, the great Tim, Timbo, right? he was there. He scored for QPR again, and I think there was actually a few more. Louis Barry scored as well for Salford. I saw.
Think so yeah.
I'm
just going to interject. Speaking of Timbo, I would like to do a sponsorship announcement. Peter Tamburino, he has just launched his own little electrical business, Tambolt. FPOS not accepted, just so you know. So anyway, if you need electrical work in Melbourne, Tambolt is the place to be.
That's right, and yes, I also went straight from watching the game to watching the sort of second half of the ladies' match, and boy, again, really impressed with what they're doing. Carla Ward has got a proper team there. They are now, I think it's 4 points clear of 6th spot. They're in 5th, and the 4 above are sort of like the big 4 that have all the money in the women's game. Arsenal, Man United, Man City, and Chelsea. But yeah, we beat West Ham as well, the same opponents, 2-1. And Rachel Daly, my God, her and Darley in the midfield are absolutely world class players, and they're a really good team to watch. So, like I said last week, if you're not checking out the women's team, I'd definitely watch some highlights on YouTube or something and watch if you can, because they're a team going places. Did you see any of that, Noah?
Yeah, I watched a bit of it. Obviously, it's a bit different with the kickoff times in Melbourne. I think it was about 3 a.m. by the time the game finished. I was pretty knackered.
Yeah.
But I watched a little bit of it. I didn't actually. I think I watched to the 80th minute, so I saw the second goal.
Yeah.
They've got some serious players in that team. They're actually in the quarterfinal of the Women FA Cup, I think it is.
That's right.
They made the semi or the quarterfinals of the Conti Cup, the League Cup. So they're actually playing some seriously good football, and it's actually starting to get noticed as well. To be 5th now, like I think they avoided relegation, 2 seasons in a row, really, just stayed in the Women's Super League, and now to be 5th, they're really going places, and they're signing quality players.
They are, and Hansen for them is also one of the highest assists in the whole league. So that's really great to see.
She's on loan from United though.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully they can sort out a transfer or something, because she's been unreal.
Yeah, no, it's good to see.
I was going to say, I'm not one to get into political news, right? But what's the go with the commentary with Gary Lineker and that's occurred? I haven't really been up to date. I mean, if one of you two wants to shed a light, sure. Any fans want to contribute?
I don't know anything about it. I just heard that BBC apologised to him.
Yes,
They-
he's
invited him back.
something, and they've singled him out. Well, they were against it, right? Because it probably
well,
goes against
BBC sort of historically have been sort of politically neutral. That was been their position, and Gary Lineker likes to have an opinion on Twitter, and said had some criticism of the Tory government's policy on immigration and their stop the boats.
Yeah.
Their stop the boats thing that they've got going, which I also disagree with. We had a similar thing here in Australia under the John Howard government. I didn't agree with that then, and but he's. I guess the big thing was should he be fired for something he says on Twitter? He didn't say on Match of the Day or whatever, but he was stepped down, and it seems to be figured out now. But I think it was pretty good that everyone sort of came to his.
I loved it. I thought it's great, right? It's a family, it's a culture, and I think it was right and sharing all that. Everyone just stood down with him, and I actually thought, I didn't know how the commentary was going to. I thought there was going to be no commentary this weekend, but I think they were using his world football commentary.
Our coverage that we get is different to theirs. Theirs, I think, for this week only, Match of the Day had no pundits, no. And they had the same commentary that we would get, the world feed, as they call it, that goes out to all countries in the world. Whereas the BBC normally have their own commentators over.
Kamara and that, where Kamara used to do it.
Gary Lineker, and there's a few others that do it. Gary Lineker.
Yeah, Ian Wright, Alan Shearer, Alex Scott. Yeah,
he's been doing it. 1999, and that's why I said it's not like he's only been doing it for a year. Like, it's almost like us doing the same to Sepp Blatter. He feels alive, God bless his soul. But it's quite sad. I didn't know he's been doing it for that long. And like, people are allowed to speak out. I do find it funny that the person who announced this, law, whatever it was I think came from a migrant family. So that's what I found was funny. Anyway.
Absolutely, yeah, no, but it was all over. It was all over social media, and I'm glad that it seems like the BBC have had to sort of go on his side, and apologise. So that's good to see. But going back to the team, let's look forward to the Bournemouth match, and let's do our predictions. Noah, what are you thinking for that match? Home to Bournemouth, they obviously coming off a big win against Liverpool.
Well, they're the informed team in the competition. They're probably title chasers. Bournemouth. Talking about the championship title they'll be going for next season.
Right. Yes.
I'm going to go. I'm going to just 2-0.
Those people have family. Oh, you savage prick!
Mate, they are title chasers. They're going for the title next year. I'm telling you.
I think it's a bit of a dogfight. I'm going to go 2-1, and I don't even know for us, but I know Solanke's going to score for them. He's been a menace last couple of games.
I'll tell you what, though, we want revenge. Match day 1 of the season, they humiliated us.
That was this season. Yeah,
this season.
Ago.
And I do remember them beating us at Villa Park maybe 2 years ago, or maybe
they beat us in our first season back. They beat us at 2-1.
That's right.
Douglas Luiz scored the screamer. We actually, I don't remember the last time we beat Bournemouth.
Yeah, it would have
been Rudy Gusted, that header. Because they then beat us at Villa Park and we went down.
And then they went down.
Then they went down after we lost to them twice.
Mate,
we lost to them, we lost to them when I was there at the Vitality as well.
Unai Emery has not slept, apparently, and I heard he's been on his Windows Surface Pro laptop just studying gameplay. So in Unai we trust.
Well, with season 3 of Ted Lasso coming out this week, maybe Unai Emery can get a gig on there and be one of his analysis or something, guys. Because he certainly lives and breathes it, and he's one of those likable sorts that he was criticised at Arsenal for not speaking the English well enough, but I think he's made a real sort of effort since coming to Villa to sort of have that connection with the fans. He always mentions the fans at every single game, home and away.
The first time, at every interview he does it. First, second, I'd like to thank the supporters.
Premier League comebacks, I reckon it is. And speaking of comebacks, I don't mean to... But speaking of comebacks, you want to say massive congrats to Brendan Fraser for his comeback, claiming the Oscar today. For those who don't know, he was an absolute childhood hero of mine, and he was banished from Hollywood. So very similar to a lot of things. So he was banished from Hollywood because I think there was like some sex allegation. He was the victim. Obviously, no one believed him, and they blacklisted him for like 10, 15 years, and now he's made his comeback. And The Whale, I'd recommend everyone going to watch it if they can. It actually hits close to home for a lot of people or any father who's battling obesity. So anyway, back to Villa.
Nice. Well, there's a movie recommendation from Tommy Lazaridis. Maybe that could become
hashtag Brendan Fraser right now. We're going to go to about 5,000 subs. Probably the hottest topic on the planet right now.
And I think there's a Villa movie that's out called it's called something like Just the 14, because the year we won the Champions League, we only used, or the year we won the league in 81, we only used like 14 players, I think.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but
Really?
in the whole season.
It's unreal.
It's pretty crazy.
Go sign like Big Joe from your local pub team if you need to make up numbers.
Back then, there was only one sub maybe, and like teams just play the same 11 every week, pretty much.
Martin O'Neill football.
Yeah, so
back then a double-footed stud tackle is actually play on. So surprised the 14 lasted. Sounds like that movie Fury.
Yeah, so if any of you UK viewers know where us in Australia could watch this movie, tell us more about it. We'd be really interested. So please 100%. Put that in the comments. And please let us.
Your recommendations, your illegal streaming sites, everything. Send it all.
Look, we don't have to worry about that. We get Optus Sport, so we get all the three o'clock kickoffs, and we don't need the illegal streams. But I'm sure if you do a sneaky illegal stream, if Villa are playing at the 3 o'clock kickoff, and and look, I'm not going to judge. We'll do what you need to do, but just.
Fix match scores. We want COVID conspiracy theories. We want everything.
Tommy,
all right, Matt Letizia. Okay, come on.
I will say one thing. Obviously, my family in the UK come from Grimsby.
Yes.
And also all over Birmingham. So the magic of the FA Cup. How crazy is it seeing Grimsby Town of League 2 in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup? I just want to congratulate them on some amazing run. They beat Southampton the other week.
They did. And who have they got in the
Brighton away, and they've sold like 4.5k tickets already sold out.
Nice.
So it's honestly incredible.
Yeah, one of my childhood best mates was a Grimsby fan, so I know that he's going to be really happy about that. And yeah, it's good to see these stories, and hopefully Villa can have a story in the FA Cup in the coming years, because it's been a long time.
Not losing. Who did we lose? Who was the team that we lost to?
Stevenage.
Oh my god. That's
embarrassing. So, all right, we'll leave you on that bright note. But did you hang on? You didn't do your Bournemouth prediction, Tommy? Did you?
Yeah, he said 2-1.
2-1. Well, 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-1 as well. I think it's gonna be tight, like Tommy. I don't think we're gonna run away with it, but I think we will get the chocolates. And let us know how you go. And what you think about Villa Brighton on the weekend. Please let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe. Follow us on all the social media. Listen to us on Spotify. And we will be back after Bournemouth, up the Villa, and we'll see you there.
Up the Villa.